Hey, this is Owen. If you're comfortable, leave your first name and state at the sound of the tiny truck backing up.
Hi, Owen. Love the show. This is probably a little outside your normal wheelhouse, but I am a public school teacher in the city, and it's my first year teaching, and I'm non-binary, and I'm just curious what kind of risk you think I might have by kind of coming out and opening up about it. All my past employers have been really good about it, but I'm worried that by opening up and being myself, that I can really hurt my job uh, potential. I'm very straight passing male looking, and I feel like if I open up, then I might get that unsubstantiated kind of bias that men in my position are predators, which is ridiculous. But again, thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate the phone call. So it sounds like you're non binary and you're also a school teacher, and now you have to figure out whether you want to come out and risk your career or stay in the closet and stay safe for the most part. That is a hard call. And I believe that some people will have a different opinion than me. So you should look in the comments section of this clip and see what other people think about it, because mine's probably a little bit controversial. You said that you live in the city. Cities are usually more accepting than other areas, than rural areas. That's a good sign. With that being said, you might be okay coming out. If you were going to come out at all, I would recommend just telling your students, don't make a big deal of it. Just say, yeah, my pronouns are they or them. You can call me they or them. That's what I prefer. And then just go on about your day. Don't make a big thing out of it. Don't make any announcements. Just kind of tell them individually if you want, or whatever. It's a risk, though, and this is the controversial part. If I were you, I think I might stay in the closet. I don't know what I would do in that situation because I've never been in that situation where a fundamental part of who I am is under attack by the people around me. I mean, I've been in that situation, but my fundamental being is easily hideable. Most people don't really understand what the word apostate is. Some people understand what the word atheist is and don't like me for that reason, but I don't have to tell them if I don't want. This is a fundamental part of you that you can't really hide easily, and hearing people call you by the incorrect pronouns can be really hurtful and damaging and depressing. So I can't speak to what the right decision is. And I know that there are people in my comment section. In fact, there are people listening right now. I'm looking in my live chat who I know are non binary and may have better advice for you than I do. But my advice would be stay in the closet if it's possible for you to do. And if you feel that you come to a point where you can't anymore, don't make a big deal out of it. Just announce it quietly. Don't announce it at all. Just tell a couple people here and there. Start there. And then tell others little by little, and word will slowly spread, hopefully. Just try not to make a big thing out of it. That'd be my recommendation. Good luck. I hope things go okay for you. And let me know. You can call back in and tell me how things turn out. Unholy Shade sent a super chat. Just a little note, not all non-binary people use they, them pronouns. That's true. I just needed something to reference. So I guess instead of saying they, them, I guess you just other pronouns. Let them use the pronouns that you prefer.
Hello, this is Rat from Ohio. I may be seeing this from the wrong side, but how do I show Christians that that they have not always been persecuted? Rather, they have been the persecutors. Throughout history, they show like the very small times where they have been persecuted, and then almost make it seem as if all throughout history they have been persecuted like that. When there are times where they would kill any person who was not a part of the Christian faith or Catholic faith, such as the one I follow today. And they also say that they have it really, really bad when they are in like the United States or someplace where they do not have it bad. And my claim is that non-Abrahamics usually will have it worse because they get ganged up on by Abrahamics. I may be seeing this through the wrong lens, so apologies. Love your channel. See ya.
To summarize, the question was, how do we show, evangelicals or Christian wingnuts that they are the persecutors, not the persecuted, right? I was watching footage from the September 18th rally the other day, which just happened recently. I prepped for the podcast before the September 18th rally took place, so I couldn't fit it in as its own segment, sadly, but possibly next week. We'll see. Anyways, the September 18th rally had a bunch of interviews, so all of these reporters were there interviewing the people that were there trying to protest the arrests of the January 6th rioters. And some of the strange shit they said was just hard to wrap your head around. Like, let me give you an example. The cognitive dissonance, the special pleading was on full display. There's a guy who said something like, he was talking about how Joe Biden is corrupt because he hired his son to work or for him or whatever, right?
I would think so, yes. That's like, yes, having billions and billions of dollars and funneled into your family in exchange for political favors.
And the reporter said, well, what about Donald Trump? Donald Trump hired his kids to work for him too, right? And the guy was like, well, yeah, but he needs people around that he can trust. He can't trust anybody else.
So what would you say about Trump giving Jared Kushner political positions and his children political opportunities and books and all of that?
Most of them were working for free, actually. Because again, you gotta have people you trust.
And the reporter was like, well, can't Joe Biden use that same excuse? Like he wanted to hire his son to work for him because he trusted him, though Biden never hired his son to work in his administration, as far as I know. So it's not even a fair comparison, but just go along with it for a second. So the guy said, couldn't Joe Biden use that same reason? He needed people around him he could trust. The guy said, well, yeah, trust him to hold the, trust him to be a good bag man, to take the money for him.
So Joe Biden can't trust Hunter?
Well, he does. Well, he trusts him to get money. He trusts him to be a good bag man.
And he was like, what about Donald Trump's kids? I mean, they were working in the administration the same as what you're describing here, so how is it different?
Donald Trump doesn't trust his kids to get money?
Well, he wasn't using them for that. He was using them to, like Kushner was brokering world peace, for God's sake.
The guy had an excuse for Donald Trump and his shenaniganery, but wasn't using the same logic for Joe Biden. Like, the cognitive dissonance in there, it is nearly impossible to break. My goal is to get people to realize that Christianity is the majority religion in the U.S. and are the persecutors. If you want, we can go as far back as the Crusades. They have been persecuting people since the religion has existed practically. Now, don't get me wrong. There are Christian groups out there who are genuinely persecuted. But in the U.S., Christianity broadly and evangelicalism more specifically is the group that's doing the persecuting. And getting that through to them is like pulling teeth. We just have to keep hammering away at it. Just keep hammering away.
Hey, Owen, it's Jay from PA. First of all, I love your channel. Second of all, I have a question. Taking it back, I know your channel has been political recently. I mean, and it has to be. But taking it back to your uprising to the Jehovah's Witnesses, I have a grandmother who's a Jehovah's Witness, and I've always enjoyed just a great relationship with her. But more recently, I came out as bisexual, and I just haven't confronted her at all because I know she knows that I came out. But I know how her religion will push her to give me a morality spew that's probably gonna, hurt my feelings and make me feel really bad. I don't want to lose my relationship with my grandma. I'm not a witness myself, so I know that she can't shun me. but I know I'm gonna hear it, and I really don't want to. What would you recommend an approach to her would be? She lives far away. She lives in a different country. But I mean, we used to talk a little more regularly, and I would love to visit her. But I mean, I've been out for a year and a half now, and I haven't even attempted to reach out to her because I just don't want to hear it. But I miss the relationship we had. What's your opinion on this? Thank you. Bye.
I appreciate the voicemail. My opinion, once again, I just did a clip where there was a non-binary teacher who was worried about whether or not they should come out as non-binary to their peers, their fellow teachers or classmates or students or whatever else. And my controversial take in that situation was that if they don't feel safe coming out, then they should just stay in the closet about it. There are other listeners in my comments section who are non-binary and have had to deal with this kind of thing and would probably know better than me what advice they should be giving or what advice I should be giving to people in that type of situation. But in your situation, again, I would recommend not coming out if it's possible. I know that you want to tell them and be accepted by them, but I mean, this person's a Jehovah's Witness. She isn't going to accept you for who you are, most likely. If she's a good Jehovah's Witness, things will probably end poorly. Like you said, you were afraid that she was going to let you have it. Now, one more thing you said here.
I don't want to lose my relationship with my grandma. I'm not a witness myself, so I know that she can't shun me.
That part right there, that's actually inaccurate. Jehovah's Witnesses are kind of primed to be in this shunning mindset. In fact, there are circumstances in which shunning isn't mandatory in the religion. Like somebody gets reproved, for example. Like they get in trouble, but they're not disfellowshipped. And they'll still get shunned by people, regardless of whether or not they broke the rules, regardless of whether or not they get disfellowshipped or anything else. They'll still get pre-shunned by people if they have a bad impression of them, if they wonder if they're doing the right thing or the wrong thing. Because shunning is part of the rules, of course, but not only that, it's built into the culture. You may not be an apostate. You may not be disfellowshipped. You may not have ever been a witness or involved in any way at all. But shunning is part of the culture, and that means you aren't necessarily safe from it. You have to be aware that that is a possibility when you talk to your grandmother about this. So good luck with it. I hope things turn out okay. And call back in and let me know. Thanks for the voicemail. I appreciate that.